In this OPUS Energy Education module, we're going to be demonstrating how to assign energy education sessions, kits, and components to clients. As I walk through this training on the screen, in front of me I have the OPUS Weatherization User Manual, which can be found in OPUS. And on page 34, there is a flowchart. This flowchart starts at the top with Start, goes to Do Kits Exist? For this training we do know kits that exist, so it invites us to go to the Energy Education view. In the Energy Education view, this can be found in the client screen, client section. I'll show you that in just a minute. And when you get there, then you determine, does the client need a kit? If so, you're going to add a kit. Do they need a component? If yes, you're going to add a component. Or do they have unwanted components? If they have unwanted components, you'll delete those components. If they don't have unwanted components, then you'll be done after everything's entered. So while I minimize this, it might be handy to have them in front of you the first couple times that you're doing energy education intakes in OPUS. So we'll log in. I'm going to log into the weatherization module this time, even though the energy and weatherization modules, they can both be, the energy education view is accessed from the same place, and I'll show you that. On this page right here, if you go to Help, this is where the user manual is located. So if you want to see what the user manual looks like, you go here. It's broken down into different sections and an appendix, so you can go there if you need some help with this and to find the flowchart that I showed you that's on page 34. So from here we're going to start at Start. This is Do Kits Exist? And we know that they do, so we're going to go to the Energy Education view. To get to the Energy Education view, we're going to search the client and pull that information up. So let me search my client that I have created here. Mr. Robert. So here's my client. Here's the client view. You can see in the client view is where you access the Energy Education view over in the left nav bar. So in the third box down on the Energy Ed flowchart, it says Go to Client Energy Educator, go to Energy Education view. So we're going to do that now. We see here in the Energy Education view that this client has actually had energy education rather 2 times, one on October 2nd and one on November 7th. This client has also been given out 4 compact fluorescent light bulbs, 1 calendar, 1 hot water thermometer, and 1 pipe wrap. The delete buttons that you see here are only on components that have been created in your agency. So you can't delete other agency components that they may have given them. And the same goes with the energy education sessions up here. The delete buttons are only for our sessions that have been at your agency, so you can't delete other agency energy education sessions. Because I created this session and it shows the intake date is November 7th, and we wanted to do the intake on November 8th, and it was in their intake, not in the classroom session, I'm going to delete that. So you can see that delete, that took that right away. I'm going to add in another one here. I'm going to add one for today, and I'm going to add that during intake and hit Add. You'll see here it pops up here, so now we have a new energy education session in there. These issue dates here shows all these items were issued today, and they weren't, so I'm going to delete them. They were added accidentally, so we're going to go ahead and delete them. So we're starting all new. You can see this client now has not been given any kit components or any full kits. So we have our new intake date as November 8th. So we're going to go here and we're going to, let's just for the sake of this say we gave the client 4 compact fluorescent light bulbs and a couple of other items. So we'll just assign those right now. So we have compact fluorescent light bulbs, 4. And we have issued date because they weren't installed, they were given out during the intake. The issue date is today. The important thing about entering an issue date compared to an install date is because we cannot claim 100% of deemed savings for items that were not installed. Every item installed we can claim 100% of deemed savings, but there's different amounts that we can claim if it's been issued, depending on the study that's been done on that item. So if you actually installed an item, it's very important to put the installed date. So we have the 4 compact fluorescents that we issued today. We'll add those. So you can see here they go in this line right here. And also while he was in the session, we gave out a power strip. And we gave that out, so we're going to put that right there and add. We'll add one more item. We gave him a recycled tote bag to take all this stuff at home in. One recycled tote bag. There's some items in here, some components that are in here that there is no savings attached to them, but we know that they're items that the agencies frequently give away, so we put them in here for tracking purposes. A recycled tote bag is one of those items. There's no energy savings that we can claim from handing out the tote bag. However, it's good to know what we are handing out to clients, or what you are handing out to clients. So we put those items in there. If there's other items you'd like to see, contact OPUS Help Desk and they can help you get them installed. So we have our 3 components here that we gave away in this session today. Now if we didn't do sessions, if we didn't do components and someone came in and we gave out whole kits, I'm going to show you how to do that now. So we still have our session, our intake session here, November 8th, still at this agency, still during intake, but let's say that we have kits that we give out that have several different items in them and we give them out all the time. We have some kits here that we've created. In the last training we created these, training on how to create kits, search for kits, and add components. We created these, and so we can choose from the kit here. So this client was in for an intake, and we'll just pretend for the sake of the training that this client had gas as their primary heat source, and this is our kit that we had put together for our gas clients. So we could just select the items here from the kit, go back down to the bottom of the screen and hit save. Oh, see, we didn't put in an issue date. It's going to require us to do that. You can either put those issue dates individually, or you can do a single issue date by putting it right there and it fills it in. You can see these other pieces filled in as well, but because we didn't check the boxes, they won't come in under the client name. Only the ones that we've checked will show up. So you can see here, that kit showed up right here. All those components showed up right here. And so that makes it way easier, especially if you have standard kits that you hand out to clients for different reasons. So let's walk through that one more time. I'm going to go ahead and delete this kit out of here, so we're starting scratch. We go to New Kit Component. We look here. These are 4 different kits that have been created at our agency. An electric kit, a gas kit for intake, weatherization specific electric, or a weatherization gas kit. So let's pretend that the gas kit for intake didn't have enough items in it that the client needed. So we went ahead and gave them a weatherization gas kit. So we'll check all the items in there. If you want to check everything on the whole screen, you can hit check all. So you can hit that and it'll check everything on the whole screen. Not likely that you'll use that very often, but it's possible. Potentially in the next sprint, when we do more work on this, we'll do a check all that's just for each individual kit. So we look here and we checked everything in this kit, but the client has no door sweeps, so we went ahead and decided to give them some door sweeps. So you can see in a recycled bag. So you can go ahead and check items that are in other kits. You're not tied just to the kit that you have that you're going to hand out to them. So we'll go ahead and hit save. Oh, we didn't fill in the dates again. So we can go here to the top and go ahead and do an autofill like that. Go back to save and it'll fill them all in for us. And now you can see all the components are handed out here. So you can see this is in the weatherization module. I'm going to switch over to the energy assistance module real quick. Go to the same client. and go to his energy education view. And you can see all the work that we did over in the weatherization side is right here as well. So let's go back over to the weatherization side. Go to the client. Go to the energy education view. See the energy education view here. And you'll notice that there was no items given out during this in-home home visit. So we could assume that there probably was items given out because it was in a home visit, where we can check and make sure not. But if there was items given away in the visit, we can go ahead and add that from here still at this time. So you can go in and add a long time afterward. Because the energy education session and the kit components aren't tied together other than by the date. So the intake date is the date that the education took place in the home. We could go to new kit component at this point, and we could, do a weatherization. Let's see. We could do the weatherization gas kit at this time for the client. And what we're going to want to make sure to do this time is we're going to do it an install date, and our install date on here is going to be 10-02, and the single date issued is going to be 10-02-2013. Hit save. And then we go here and you can see what was actually installed at the house. So when we look at this view right here, we know that this compact fluorescent light bulbs, these 4 compact fluorescent light bulbs, the savings that we'll be able to claim on those is not nearly as high as the savings we'll be able to claim on the installed. We claim 100, so these compact fluorescents right here we get 100% of the savings for, and this right here is a lesser amount. So it's very important to click the install date. All right. So moving down our flow chart here, we have, does the household need a kit? No, they don't need a kit because we've just walked through that. I've showed you how to give them individual kits or individual kit components, and also how to delete extra kits or extra components that are in the module. So we have, does the household have unwanted components? We'll go ahead and say yes at this point. They do have unwanted components. When we looked in OPUS, and let's say when we looked in OPUS and we saw they got compact fluorescents there, we went ahead and didn't give these out at the intake. So you can see that took those compact fluorescents off there. We saw that they got an aerator at their installed in their house already, so we're going to assume we don't want to give them another one of those at this point. We'll go ahead and delete that out of there. So you can see it's very easy to delete items that were added accidentally, very easily. So let's go here and we'll just hit the delete on the CFLs. And then we realize, oh no, I shouldn't have deleted the CFLs because there's none on here yet, and we know that they got them. So we'll just go back here. We'll go to kit components. We'll check the CFLs, and we'll make them today. And save that, and save it. There we go. And then we have our CFLs back here. You don't have to necessarily go through the kit component new button to do that. You could just go down here, since you're just adding compact fluorescent light bulbs, and go to CFL, and then 4 of them, and then do the issue date and add. For a single item, it's probably easier to do that, just to go down and just add the single component. If you're adding multiple components, it's probably easier to go to the kit component household new screen. Just make sure that you put an issue date in there, or it won't let you go any further. So at this point, we can go to the household view. or the energy education view rather. We can see that the client's got an intake in the home on the 2nd, intake during intake on the 8th, and that they've been given these components. And these components you'll be able to see next year and the year after, so we'll always be able to track what items a client was given. This information does stay with the client, not with the household, or excuse me, not with the residents. So when the client moves, the energy education and the components move with the client. A new client could move into that residence, or a new household could move into that residence, and it wouldn't show that there had been any energy education there. So I hope this will answer most of your questions. If you do have any questions after this that you can't find the answer on in either the OPUS manual or looking at the energy ed kit flow chart, please feel free to contact OPUS Help Desk.